Again, let me reinforce that I'm here to represent USAID Speed. No? It's an activity by USAID to digitalize our small medium enterprise, right, which is like the backbone of our economy. The power of digitalization. Right? The power of digitalization. This has been presented. This message has been given a few years ago, and I just need to reinforce. No, digitalization creates a lot of opportunity, no, across industries, not just uh, not just for supply chain and logistics, but it's really the power of the industrial revolution 4.0. Let me start with some of the use cases or the pillars of this digitalization. Item number one is our resource management, resource optimization. This allows us, no, if I was making this presentation 10, 15 years ago, this would be more like a science fiction. No? The rapid change in technology in the last 5, 7 years was really phenomenal, right? And with that rapid change in technology, we can now use them for resource optimization, having now the digital tools that allow us to use less manpower, be more productive, and be more efficient. And by doing so, it will do result in a better waste management. I just read somewhere that especially in food, our food wastage globally was around 30% being lost, no, to improper handling. No? So there's a lot of food wastages. Estimates are shown about $400 billion is being wasted every year. So by employing technology, IoT, and with the most recent advancement in technology called artificial intelligence, we would be able to utilize this and improve our food sustainability. Green infrastructure. People were talking about my friends were talking about going green, being green, green mindset, and so on. How and this can be realized. This can be realized through an advanced cooling system. I've seen a warehouse, a cold chain warehouse, wherein technology with artificial intelligence automatically adjusts temperature, no? Temperature control, the amount of um, cooling system going out as you open and close the doors. It detects, it optimizes what type of temperature is needed for that warehouse. Renewable energy use, leading tech companies are now powering their data centers, the one that runs Google, the one that runs Facebook. They're now being powered with renewable energy. And lastly, digital education. By employing digital education, online platforms, it will save a lot of our resources, reducing our consumption of fuel and others. However, not everything are good. No, there are still very much challenges. There are challenges and there are opportunities. As we go digitalization, the e-commerce growth, no, we have, the pandemic created a new behavior, no, to the consumer and to almost everyone. The growth in e-commerce have increased the use of non-biodegradable product. No? Among consumers, I'm sure all of you here are buying from our platform marketplaces. You will buy an item that is about 6 inches, but the packaging will come with wraps and wraps of plastic and cartons, and including the tapes and so on. Actually, it is taking more time to unpack the item than actually using the good. No? So while we embrace digitalization as a new form of commerce, we have to be mindful of the wastage that we're doing as well. The impact to sustainability cannot be ignored. The Philippines itself generates 2.7 million tons of plastic waste annually, mostly coming from e-commerce activities. The Philippines' digital economy is still expected to grow. No? We're going fast, very, very fast in view of our appetite for the sachet economy. No? So each of that pack of sachet that we use, plus the fact that we're ordering it online, magnifies our production of non-biodegradable plastics. 20% of Philippines' annual plastic waste ends up in the ocean as unrecyclable single-use plastic. I think we are one of the highest contributor to this, no? Us and Indonesia, no? The country that embraced sachet economy. So what are we doing? What are we doing in USAID SPEED activity? SPEED stands for Strengthening Private Enterprise to the Digital Economy. We're helping small, medium enterprise to adopt and embrace the new economy. And we're focusing collaboration with the government and the private sector to grow this sector. So we're building this through our 4 pillars: enhancing our SMEs e-commerce capabilities through what we call capacity development. We're educating them, we're training them. We're also enabling the development of digital payments and fintech. And one of the reasons why we are here, we are looking at integrating the e-commerce activities of this small, medium enterprise with logistics. This is very important request from us, that our SMEs doesn't see what's happening in the logistics space. Now we do, through this exercise, through this forum, we are requesting that the logistics service provider influence our SME to go digitalization as well. No? This is for sustainability, and if we start pushing the adoption from our side, from the logistics side, the adoption from the SME will also be exponential. And lastly, we're also participating in the consumer protection and awareness. The SPEED program was instrumental in completing the Internet Transaction Act, working with our partners, working with DTI, working with BSP, industry players, providing technical assistance. And it was just signed last Wednesday. The implementing rules and regulation of the Internet Transaction Act was signed last Wednesday. And we're proud to say that we were part of that. Eco-friendly e-commerce SPEED's initiative for sustainability. We have actively been engaging our partners, providing technical assistance to reduce plastic waste footprint in the e-commerce space. We're working closely with some of these major uh, packaging companies to see how we can help, no? How we can help in the sustainability of e-commerce. Some of the work that we have done, uh, through our project with Nueva Vizcaya, the NVAD platform. This is working with the farmers and the food terminal hub. We have introduced reusable plastic crates, no, recyclable, reusable plastic crates. I thought you don't want to use plastic, right? However, we did a balance that without using this plastic crate, they use today those bags, plastic bags, no, which is not reusable. It also ended up piles of non-biodegradable waste. Now, the beauty of this, in this recyclable plastic crate, is that we are able to detect, we're able to keep track through technology that this plastic crate is used for non-contaminated use. Plastic recycling needs to be clear that it's never been contaminated for it to be recycled again for food delivery. I mean, the logistic guys would probably know that. But it was a revelation to us that not all plastics, that once it gets recycled, we thought it's okay because it's gone through the reprocessing. But the answer was no. The moment you use a plastic that for some chemicals, even if it's recycled, you cannot put it back. Right? So we're working on this, and the technology will be used here would allow us to keep track. No, keep track. The crate will have a mechanism to where it what material was carried in that plastic, where was it used, how long was it used, and so on and so forth. So that would give us predictability on how this plastic can be recycled. Further, over and above that, we also worked with our collaboration with the Department of Trade and Industry. We are also working with the platform providers, Lazada, Shopee, to come up with a standard on how they can package their goods, no? So that it doesn't produce so much plastic waste. We're supporting the EPR law and practice by conducting sessions with the small medium enterprise and telling them what are the considerations. The EPR law was passed for the last 2 to 3 years ago, but a lot of our countrymen, our businesses, the small and medium businesses, are still unable to understand clearly what does it take to comply to the EPR. Just 2 weeks, last week we were at General Santos, wherein we sponsored an event, co-sponsored an event with the Mindanao Chamber of Commerce, and we brought in our contribution of a technical assistance by inviting one of the experts in the EPR law and how it can be complied to and what are the actions that can be taken. We're currently working with Great Deals and Women Biz to pursue sustainability practice in terms of packaging. Speed's plastic reduction program, including forums of stakeholder, is going to be ongoing. We will be championing this. We'll be championing this besides the digitalization focus of Speed. Innovations in e-commerce related to packaging and capacity building will be our focus for the next couple of years. Promotion of alternative packaging materials to replace plastics is a study that's already being done now. We're working closely with the industry players and the Bureau of Product Standards to see what can we do to create a sustainable packaging standards for e-commerce. If you notice in the US, Amazon only uses cartons. No? They don't use plastic to protect their goods. So is it applicable to us? At what cost and so on? And we're also training programs for SMEs and logistics provider on sustainability practice. Development of a learning module on sustainable packaging will be available as we bring up our speed portal, as SME speed portal by Q4 this year. So we'll be creating a lot of materials to help the small medium enterprise understand what it takes to be a sustainable business practice. And to conclude my presentation, I can just say we wanted to have less plastic and more planet. Help us together, help us champion environmental responsibility in the Philippines as an e-commerce and digitalization expand. Let's commit to a sustainable practice today. Thank you.